Hello, welcome back to my channel. I hope all is well. Another day, another rebirth, right? I hope you're spreading love. I hope you're letting yourself be loved, and I hope you're really tapping out of experiences that don't surround love and light. Everything ain't gonna always be love and light, but when you're ready for those shadow moments. And sometimes we gotta know when we're not. Sometimes we gotta know what our mental health, our aura, our aura can really be receptive of. I know for those of us who love Twitter ain't really a good place to be right now. And I really don't know when the last time it was. There's a lot of sick jokes circulating right now about all these cases going on. It can be very triggering. It can trigger things you didn't even know were in your subconscious, in your mind. And listen, you have to know when to tap out. And tapping out can be like fasting from other people's thoughts, other people's opinions on you. I know as an artist, I'm like, I might need to go private. I might need to not post for a minute because I'm very sensitive. I'm healing through some things that involve my insecurities, involve like childhood trauma. And I know if I put my art out right now and it gets criticized, I might not deal with that in a healthy manner. You gotta know what you can put up with. Listening to music that reflects your past, that triggers your past, that brings up unhealthy thoughts about yourself, about other people. You gotta know what you can deal with. I know I've said this before, but certain point in my life, even if I'm in a healthy relationship, I can't listen to sad girl R&B. It just sometimes puts you in a place like you're feeling these people's emotions, right? You're on the same frequency or similar frequency as the one they were on when they created. You're breathing in this BS that they're letting out. And sometimes I can't listen to that because I'm like, girl, you begging this muck back and you acting like you not a beautiful person. You on here like you damn near on your knees. I can't. And it's not to say that my mind is weak or, my protection is weak. It's just sometimes like I can't afford to listen to that. I have to go listen to something that makes me feel like I'm that girl, It makes me feel like I'm the one. I'm chosen. Sometimes you gotta listen to some egotistical stuff to feed your ego, And sometimes you gotta not listen to egotistical stuff. Speaking of ego, I hate when random has nothing to do with what I'm saying, but I hate when people act like the ego is not necessary. Yeah, there are unproductive parts of the ego that you can kill or do away with and have an ego death, but that's another story. But sometimes you got to feed that ego, and sometimes you have to starve it. You have to know where you're at in your journey. That's why sometimes I'll be like, where's my soul at in my life's journey, in my purpose? And I'll base it off of the tarot. It'll tell me, and then I'll say, okay, since I'm here, what do I need to be doing? What do I not need to be doing? You have to listen to spirit. Not only divination, you have to listen to yourself. For real. Like even the news is just so much right now. There's so many genocides going on. Like there's so much poverty, so much death. And you have to make sure your thoughts and your feelings are your own. Even not even if it's just like making you feel away, It's one thing like social media making you depressed or the news is making you depressed or anxious. But another thing is, like I said, making sure your thoughts are your own. You can be at a certain point in your life where you realize I'm regurgitating stuff that I've heard. I haven't really fully internalized this thing that I'm repeating. Or I've been around a group of people that have not allowed me to really think on my own. It's time for me to tap out. maybe not go into hermit mode, but I have to tap out, and I need to journal a bit and make sure that I myself, make sure that my spiritual well-being is up to par. I have to make sure that my spiritual protection is up to par. Like, and sometimes you don't even tap out until it's too late. I know sometimes, like, I start having like nightmares about the most random stuff, like about somebody like that's on the news chasing me, and I'm like, okay, this is not my concern. this is not my enemy. Why are they in my dreams? Dreams don't always mean things, but you have to take, how am I trying to say? You have to take from the dream what your body and spirit is trying to tell you. Like, that specific dream may not mean nothing. It just may mean that you're overstimulated and you went to sleep before you got to break down and debrief your day and meditate. Like, as you're tapping out, make sure you're doing these things, because yeah, tapping out of the experience of everybody else's experience is intentional healing. But you got to make sure you're doing things to build yourself and your spirit and your thoughts and your character back up, and your true self. And how am I trying to say this? Like, what I'm saying is, like, as you're creating this space where you can think on your own, creating silence, creating stillness, you need to be doing things that not only create a clean slate, but replenish your own thoughts. Meditation, grounding, nature, journaling, all that good stuff that gets you back to self, gets you back to spirit, your personal connection with spirit, and now not how somebody else says it should be. I know you're listening to me right now. This may be your sign that, like, you might need to, like, maybe not listen to me for a while. I don't know. I don't know, but, like, I know sometimes I get in these spaces and I'm like, okay, my elder said I need to do this. This works. And then I'll do it. And I'm like, this don't feel right for me. And I'll try it again just because my elder or someone that I look up to on social media in the spiritual world that do it. And then, like, I'll have to, retreat for a bit and, like, are you being your authentic self? Because, I mean, it's insanity to keep trying the same thing and it's not working. And so I have to just make sure that, like, the things that I'm doing reflect me and my personal relationship with spirit, my personal relationship with my own destiny, my own truth. And sometimes you even have to do that with people that are close to you, like your significant other, your mother, your father. You have to say respectfully, I need some time to myself. I need to think on my own. And this can also look like not asking for advice. I saw a tweet the other day that was like, is something wrong with me? I keep asking. I don't make, like, decisions without asking for validation. And that alone tells me that you've been so tapped into other people's reality that when it comes time for you and your own decisions, you don't trust yourself because you're basing your decision off of the decisions or opinions of others. Or you've allowed yourself to be gaslighted so much in your life that you don't know what's a good decision or not. And if you're like that, you might want to spend some time, like, just not asking for advice. And I used to be like that, and it's a very hard thing to do, because what can be like a very important thing to you may not be a very important thing to them. And now you're asking for advice. Now you're inside someone else's reality and then making decisions in your reality based on theirs. sometimes we just gotta find the time to think and let those thoughts like just flow effortlessly. Get into automatic writing. Automatic writing is like when you get a pen and you just let it flow. Let spirit control what's coming out of that pen, you know? Meditating. You gotta sit. You gotta be still. You gotta learn to be still. And another sign that you just too tapped in is your own reality has become too painful for you to sit in. If you can't be quiet or be in the quiet without you running to get on social media, running to call somebody to get in their head, to have their thoughts about your life, then that's a sign that you just need to tap out. And it's just so funny because I do mixed martial arts, and when you feeling too much pain, when somebody else is inflicting too much pain on you, you have to tap out, you know. I said this because I'm not only speaking to you, I'm speaking to myself. Because let me tell you, I have just been so triggered. Like if somebody knock on the door, I'm like, who is that? Who is, like, it's just little stuff that I catch myself doing. Like, girl, you've been reading too many traumatic news articles. Now you scared to go to sleep. Now you sleeping with the light on. Now you waking up at a time that you know you don't wake up because you scared. And it's because I have that nosy grandmother spirit in me sometimes, where I just want to know everything. And then when I know everything, it's like I can never take that minute of my life back. I can never take that. Now I know too much. My grandmother, who is highly intuitive, I always tell her, like, you are my favorite form of divination. Like, my grandmother tell me something, that's because she nosy. And her mother was nosy, because I knew my great-grandmother, and she used to sit at the window and just be looking at everybody, tapping in other people's energy. And my grandma would be like, you know, sometimes I look at somebody too long and I know too much about them. And I wish I didn't. And sometimes we do that to people via social media, via YouTube, via news. We feel these people's energy. If you're sensitive like me, sometimes I don't have to be in a situation to feel that situation. Like, sometimes I just get shudders just thinking about things. If you're watching this may be your sign that you need to tap the F out. Okay, now you are counting on you, yourself, your peace, your Ori is counting on you. Obatala. What I was saying, my phone almost died. Obatala is counting on you to protect your Ori, to listen to your feelings, your anxiety, your depression. Make sure you're replenishing yourself and your connection with spirit, with creator, with God, whatever you call it, Mother Nature. I believe in you and I love you, and see you next time. Peace.